I am amazed at what Michael Bloomberg is now talking about. I mean, we're going to get to guns here in a second, but now he has already gone into your food. He's already gone into just about everything in your life. He has said within 5 minutes, in 5 years, there will be cameras everywhere.
Oh, yeah. We forget the scope of all that is the beauty of Michael Bloomberg.
Everything.
Because there are the cameras. There's the street situation where he turned it into parking areas or walking areas, plazas.
People voted it down.
Yeah.
He wanted
it anyway.
He wanted, I think it was Broadway to be a park.
Yeah.
He wanted, I think, what was it, Lexington to also be a park, so there would just be linear parks, but it would shut the city down.
And even the people of New York said no.
Right.
Did it anyway.
He did it anyway.
Yeah, he wanted what was the tax he wanted to, or the fee when you just cross the bridge to get into
the city? But he's already done it.
Yeah,
right.
Well,
He's already done it.
It's jacked it up, not as high as he wanted it, though.
So he did that.
How much was it last time we paid that fee to come across the bridge? What is it, $20 a day?
Yeah, it's close to that. 15
it's
or 20
or $15 or $20 a day to come across the bridge.
It's been a while, but they raised it a lot.
A lot under Bloomberg.
So there's those things. There was the styrofoam deal he just did. There was smoking, indoors and out. There's all the food, and now this that you're about to talk
cigarettes
about.
being hidden.
The cigarettes.
Now he has come out and he is complaining about Twitter and Facebook. And he's saying, these people who are just saying things online. I mean, we've got to find a way to stop this. I guess, sure, I believe in the First Amendment. Well, I mean, if you don't believe in the second, why believe in the first? And if you don't have the second, you will not have the first. And so he says it will. Let me find the exact quote because I love it. It will be. I think he says it will be tricky. Making the creation of a citywide social media policy would be quite tricky. Oh, well, that's one way to look at the Constitution and subverting it.
Shutting down the First Amendment would
quite
be
tricky.
Tricky. You would hope it would be somewhat tricky.
Okay, so
I don't know if you want it to be all the way quite tricky, but at least somewhat.
Kind of tricky.
The founding document that prohibits your behavior is tricky.
It is tricky.
Yeah, it is tricky.
And you guys got to find a way around those tripwires so you can limit people's speech. So here he is spending all of his money, and you have to tell everyone you know what Mayors Against Illegal Guns is. That you will see this on a lot of ads all around the country. Mayors Against Illegal Guns. Who is not against illegal guns?
Everyone, including the NRA.
Yeah. I don't know of a soul that says, I am a huge Second Amendment guy. I'm not for illegal guns. If you have purchased them and scrubbed the serial number off, I'm not a fan of yours. I'm not fighting for your right.
If you've stolen them from your mom and you're about to shoot people, I'm against that.
Not
totally
for
against
you.
Yeah, the NRA is a collection of the most responsible gun owners there is.
Yeah, because, look, the NRA was started for two reasons. The NRA was started as a we've got to help people be better shots because the North almost lost the Civil War because the North, they're not shooting. And so they have to know gun safety. They have to be around guns. They have to be comfortable with guns. So this doesn't happen again. So they can defend the homeland and they can be safe around them. The second reason is because of the KKK. The South, the Democrats, were taking the guns away from the African Americans and by doing so, they were putting them right into the hands of the KKK. That's why the NRA was started. So they know. They want you to be safe. They want you to be responsible. They want you to be a good shot. Now, Mayors Against Illegal Guns, they're not against illegal guns. They're against guns. This is Michael Bloomberg's money. This is Michael Bloomberg's deal. He's the one who has cobbled together these Mayors Against Illegal Guns. We should find all the mayors that are in it because it's all the big, huge progressive cities that are with him on this. Now, they don't enforce the federal laws against illegal guns. The one city that has the worst problem and is the one that upholds current federal law worse than anybody else is Chicago. Now, why is that? If you have a problem with shootings, why wouldn't you enforce the illegal gun laws? You're not against illegal guns. You're against guns.
Out of 90 jurisdictions, they're 90th in Chicago.
Now, think of that.
Pretty bad.
Think of that.
Yeah.
Think of that. Here's a city that has been crying out and saying, we need national troops on the streets, and they won't enforce the gun laws? And now we're expected to believe that they need more laws? It's a lie. It's an absolute out-and-out lie. Now, he's running these ads. And remember, a guy who will go for your Second Amendment will certainly go for your First Amendment, and he's already talking about how people are irresponsible, and it's a little tricky to regulate your First Amendment, but we really have to get people to be a little more responsible online. Oh, my gosh, this guy is a dictator.
He wants to be. Certainly.
He is. He's a fascist.
And he's doing things. They're getting overturned all the time. I mean, this is the same thing FDR did. All of his stuff got overturned as well, or at least a lot of it. I wonder, too, if this Mayors Against Illegal Guns group is one of those groups where you talked about it with Agenda 21, where it's not even necessarily true that the local people think there's anything wrong with it. It could very well be that they've joined this group that they think is positive. It's against illegal guns. It's against,
Well, then they should be voted out of office.
I'm curious to see if that's the same group. I don't know that it is, but looking at this list, it is a extensive list of mayors. I mean, just looking through it, even in Texas, there's 6 mayors in Texas.
Name the 6 mayors in Texas.
Well, Austin, you'd be no
Austin,
surprise there, right?
No surprise.
Brownsville, DeSoto,
no
Texas,
surprise.
Houston, Texas.
No surprise.
No surprise.
This one was surprising because it's around where our studios are, Hearst, Texas, which is about 15, 20 minutes from here. And now I don't know. Does this guy, is he a good guy?
I don't know, but he should take his name off the list.
Yeah, I mean, you should take your name off the list if you're learning about this. Because Bloomberg,
what is
bad
it?
News.
What is the website?
MayorsAgainstIllegalGuns.org.
Okay, go to mayorsagainstillegalguns.org and look and find if your mayor is on there and get your mayor to either wake up or take a stand, and because there's no way that he doesn't know what this is. There's just no way. And if he does, you should question whether that guy should be even the mayor. And I'm sorry to be so sexist. That guy or woman.
Yes, Houston's a female, I believe.
Yes. Who is the mayor of Houston?
Pat?
I don't remember her name.
Mayor Anise D. Parker?
Yeah, Anise Parker.
How is she?
She's wonderful.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, she's terrific.
See, that's with your reaction. I thought you were going the other direction.
No, I
with
know.
that. Okay.
I know.
She's wonderful.
Do we have
wonderful.
any major cities?
Wonderful.
We don't have any major cities.
Well, it's the urban areas. And,
I mean, Salt Lake City is wildly liberal.
Yeah.
I mean, there is just no major city that retains...
It's not controlled by liberals.
Yeah, liberal and progressives. It's not good. It's just not good. And that's why they can get away with saying, oh, well, it's those hicks that live in the sticks. I'd rather be a hick that lives in the sticks than these guys.
But this is a pretty pervasive argument, right? I mean, it works pretty well, even against conservatives many times. And when you talk to, what was it, Dr. Ben Carson, who is a conservative in every respect that we've seen, and he, even he was somewhat sympathetic to certain guns in certain areas.
He said certain guns in certain areas should not be allowed.
And so, I mean, it's not something that is, just Michael Bloomberg.
You're not going to be able to regulate this. You're not going to be able to regulate this. The best way to handle it is to encourage people to have guns. So if somebody does have an AR, somebody has a 100 magazine clip, somebody else next to them can shoot them. That's what you do. You're not going to put this genie in the bottle. You cannot, unless you're a fascistic state, you cannot take the guns away from the people. At least not in this country. You might be able to do it in Europe, and that's why they're trying so hard to indoctrinate your kids to make them terrified of guns. Do not believe that they are telling your kids about Pop-Tarts and telling them that, biting it into the shape of an L, which it looks like a gun, is somehow an out of control political correctness, bad judgment. That is not. That is intentionally being done to give your children an irrational fear of guns. You know what? I haven't shown this yet on TV. I'm going to bring it in. I have the teachers' lesson plans from Germany. I'll show you. They know exactly what they're doing. We have lesson plans from Germany on how to spot troublemakers, how to spot the Jews, how to teach against the Jews, all of that stuff. We have the books that were given to the teachers, just for the teachers. I've never seen them before. We're in the middle of translating them now. It's terrifying stuff. They know exactly what they're doing, and so does this administration. We're the last bastion, guys. We're it. If we're not joining the NRA, if we're not really standing by the Second Amendment, I don't care if you shoot or not. This does affect you. I joined the NRA, I think, maybe before I even had a gun. My wife and I were no different. If you're listening to me and you're like, I don't want a gun, and I don't think, and I don't know if I could ever pull the trigger on somebody, I'm with you. I understand that. That's the reason why we got Victor, is because I couldn't do it. I didn't want a gun in the house. I wanted one more than my wife did. She wouldn't hear of it. We were those people. Now, here we are 10 years later, not those people anymore.
Doing the keynote at the NRA convention.
We've done our homework. We know the difference. We had an irrational fear of guns because we were uneducated. Educate yourself on them. It doesn't mean you have to own one. Educate. Why do you have one? We're just hearing these commercials are incredible. Do you have one of the commercials? Can we play one real quick? Here's one of them from Michael Bloomberg. Michael Bloomberg, richer than George Soros. Here's the ads he's now running.
For me, guns are for hunting and protecting my family. I believe in the Second Amendment, and I'll fight to protect it. But with rights come responsibilities. That's why I support comprehensive background checks.
I see.
So criminals and the dangerously mentally ill can't buy guns. Mm-hmm. That protects my rights and my family.
Now, do you notice the guy is, first of all, he's a hunter. He's dressed like one, so you know he is. Mm-hmm. And he has a black beard. So any black-bearded guy dressed like a hunter must be one.
Right.
And he's holding a gun. That means he loves guns. He doesn't want to take anybody's gun rights away.
And he's
got it himself.
He cares about safety. That's why he's holding the shotgun and aiming it right chest level. He's not setting it up or down.
No.
It's chest level, and he has his finger on the trigger while he's doing this.
Don't do. It's agonizing.
Yeah, these are going to be very effective spots. More in just a second.